Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button and hit the bell icon and set your notifications to all. That way you never miss a future upload. Another day, another drama, and today we're going to be talking about everything that was going on between Charli Damelio, Dixie Damelio, James Charles, and Trisha Paytas. But before we get into that, if you haven't seen my previous video titled Creepshow Art Calls Out Without a Crystal Ball, I will link that in a card up over here, as well as down in the description box down below, so definitely make sure you go and check that out as well. Alright, let's go ahead and get on into it. The other day, the Damelio family uploaded a video to their channel called The Damelio Family, where they have a special guest over for dinner, and in the first episode, that special guest was James Charles. Well, in this video, there were some things that people had issues with. One of those things being people were saying Charli was complaining about not hitting 100 million followers a year after she hit 1 million. She's super close to that, but she's just like, if I had more time, we'll take a look at a clip of that, as well as a clip of Dixie, who appears to be unappreciative of the food that she was being served, and people were calling both of them out about it. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of clips from that video. Hello, Editing Me here, and after multiple attempts of trying to upload my video with clips from Dinner with the Damelios in there, I keep getting a copyright strike against my video, so I'm just going to have to remove that and tell you what the actual clips were about. So the first clip, Charli basically says, I wish that I had more time because it'd be awesome if I hit 100 million subscribers a year after hitting 1 million subscribers. And James Charles says, oh, was the 95 million not enough? And Charli was like, well, I mean, I'm just saying like even numbers would be great. And then Dixie jumps in and tries to end the video, and then Charli starts to yell over top of her, and you can see that James Charles is just super annoyed. He's like, you know what, I'm just gonna do the outro, and then he does the outro. And while I was watching this, I was like, okay, what do people have a problem with? Because she's like, okay, I wish I had more time to hit 100 million. I know James says, oh, was like the 95 million not enough? And I feel like he's just trying to, like, make a joke about the entire situation. But I watched that back and I was like, okay, I don't see her being rude about not hitting 100 million followers. She's just like, okay, if I had more time, I would be able to make it. But then, of course, this came out, and then people started to say, oh, well, she's just treating her followers as a number, and the only thing that she cares about is getting to 100 million. But I didn't really see it that way, so I don't really know what the whole problem was. I think that she was just trying to have fun with the entire situation, but of course, if somebody doesn't like you, they're going to turn it around and be like, oh, well look, she's just treating her followers as a number, the only thing that she cares about is hitting 100 million. But again, that's how I'm seeing it, but let me know what you guys think down below. But let's go ahead and take a listen to what Dixie had to say in that video that people are having a problem with as well. Alright, Editing Me here again to tell you what happens in clip number 2. So in this clip, you see Dixie play with something on her plate. She picks it up, looks at it, throws it down, and she mouths like, what is that? And then James is like, what's everybody laughing at? And then Dixie says, what is this? And her dad's like, it's a mushroom. And she's like, no, it's not. And then she's like, is it a snail? And the chef's like, yes, it's a snail. And he says that it's supposed to bring you like good luck and fortune if you eat it. So then she decides that she's going to try to eat it. And then she starts to gag at the table, and then gets up to leave the table and ends up throwing up outside. And she was like, oh my god, she really did throw up. And then her mom is like, okay, you're being over dramatic. And I think this here is a bigger issue than the Charli situation and everything that people are talking about with her. Like, because people are saying, hey, she's being disrespectful to the chef. There's people who are starving, who don't have money or a chef to cook for them. Like, what's the big deal? Why are you making a big scene about this entire situation? But then Dixie later goes on to a Instagram rant, I think it was, where she talks about how the entire thing was basically supposed to be a joke and how they were going to put that in there on purpose to see if they could get a reaction out of her, and that's what happened. But the situation is that since you didn't include that in the original video, people didn't know that, people didn't have the context, so it comes off as you looking a little unappreciative, a little bratty, a little overdramatic. But that's just my opinion. But of course, since there's drama going on, who decides to insert themselves into the drama? And that is the one and only Trisha Paytas. So Trisha Paytas took to her TikTok to do a react to the video, and then she put out the following video after that talking about the entire situation. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what Trisha Paytas had to say.
Okay, so I just did a reaction to this video of the Damelios and James Charles having dinner with a chef, and I've seen lots of comments from Dixie saying, like, just kind of being really combative and bratty towards people who had criticisms of the girls. There's a chef making them food, they're being really disrespectful, just spitting out the food, and they're 19, they're young, but I do think since they are role models on such a big platform, they should be called out when they need to be humbled a little, because you see this happen all the time. People get really famous, a lot of followers really quickly. They think they're entitled to 100 million. They complain that they only have 95 million followers. They complain that they have a personal chef, and it's just unbecoming. And I don't think it's something to be embarrassed about because they are young girls, but to be catty and bratty in the comments when people are just like, hey, we're kind of like, this isn't cool behavior. It's just trying to help them learn and ultimately not get canceled, because this kind of attitude, it won't get you far. Period.
And as far as what Trisha says, like, I can understand with what she's saying, and from something coming from Trisha like this, she could have easily just went in an entirely different direction and went on a massive trolling route, but I feel like she was actually trying to be semi-nice about the entire situation. But James Charles decided to jump in about the entire situation on Twitter when he releases the following tweet. James Charles tweeted, "This Charli situation is not sitting right with me. 100 million followers in 1 year and y'all expect her to know how to be a perfect role model? Threats because she's a picky eater and made a joke about a milestone? 30-plus-year-olds dragging someone half their age? Feels familiar." And then that causes Trisha Paytas to then go on a ginormous TikTok rant. Now, I'm not going to include her entire TikTok rant in here because literally I think I have 22 TikToks saved about the entire situation, but she just kind of went off about the entire situation. And then people are like, okay, what is going on here? And I'm just like, do you guys not see what is actually going on here? We all know how Trisha likes to operate. Trisha can troll with the best of them. She was basically one of the original trolls on YouTube, let's be honest, and she's still doing it. Like, what, 13, 14 years later, and people are still giving her attention because when she inserts herself into the drama, people respond, and it just continues with this back and forth. And I was like, do people not really see what's going on here? This whole situation between Charli and Dixie was not that big of a deal, but then since James jumped in and wanted to drag Trisha Paytas about the entire situation, then Trisha Paytas jumps back in because she's going to be talking about James Charles, which causes more drama. And then for some reason, Jeffree Star decides that he's going to put out a Snapchat where he's like, I hear that people are talking about me, keep your name out of your mouth, which is a phrase that's been going on back and forth between Trisha Paytas and James Charles and Charli Damelio saying, hey, keep my name out of your mouth. So Jeffree Star tries to insert himself into the drama. So it's like, this whole thing is just becoming a giant mess, and I'm like, okay, does nobody see that this is basically what I think, my opinion, Trisha Paytas wanted to happen, because it's causing even more drama, getting everybody more attention. I mean, there's articles being written about this entire situation, and I'm just like, okay, this is what I thought was going to happen, and it is what happened. So I don't know if anybody else isn't seeing, like, hey, this is in Trisha's wheelhouse. This is her specialty right here. Like, how long can I drag this out? Because this is getting attention. This is getting views. And that's the whole point of YouTube, right? That's the whole point of TikTok, is to get views to your channel, because then that makes you money. Well, since all this drama has happened, Charli has lost about 1 million followers on TikTok, but as of today, right before I started recording this video, I went and checked, and she is back up to 99.5 million followers, so it turns out that she has regained all those followers. So I believe that the people that unfollowed her were people who wanted a reason to unfollow her, and so they were going to fall off no matter what as soon as she did something that they didn't approve of, and she is still gaining followers. Like I said, she's back up to that 99.5 million, so I wouldn't doubt it if she hits 100 million in the next couple of days. But that is my whole take on the situation, so I'd love to know what you guys think about everything down in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and hit the bell icon and set your notifications to all. That way you never miss a future upload. Alright, that's everything for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!